Today, I'm here to inform you on football. What I'm going to talk to you about is what the best defense to run against the spread offense is. In that case, it's going to be a nickel defense. There's a couple different styles of defense you can run, everything. When the offense comes out on the spread, what they're trying to do is spread out the defense. Make it so there's gaps on the defensive side of the ball, so they can have more lanes to pass the ball or run the ball if they need to. When it comes to defense, when the offense comes to spread, the best defense is a nickel defense. What a nickel defense is when they come out and they bring in an extra safety. When they bring in the extra safety, that means they have 4 defensive backs there. You have your 2 corners and your 2 safeties. Safeties are usually 8 to 10 yards off the ball. Corners are usually 5 yards off the ball. Corners line up on the outside man, and they have anything from the hash to the sideline all the way back to the end zone. Anything's in that zone, that's what they have to cover on both sides. The safeties, they have anything inside the hashes. So anything in the middle of the field from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. This way it cuts off the gaps in the middle of the field and everything. Also in the nickel, usually defenses run with 4 down linemen up front on defense. Nickel takes off one of the down linemen, so you only have 3 linemen rushing the passer at once. When it comes to this is the only weak part of the nickel defense, is that you have three guys rushing. That's where you always want to send one of your linebackers. You have 4 linebackers to pick from. One of those you always want to send on a blitz. If it's a pass, you usually want to send the middle guys. One of the middle guys. Because the whip and the rover, they have the flats. They cover anything in the flats here. So you don't want to have them rush the passer, because then that's going to leave this spot of the field open. You rush one of them, if you rush the Mike linebacker, the Sam has middle of the field. Right there. So that's the nickel defense. The reason why you want to run the nickel defense like this is just, like I said, it cuts down on the gaps in the defense. So you have your safeties covering deep, basically deep thirds, and your corners covering the other deep thirds. Linebackers, you have your shallow thirds here, and then your linebacker right in the middle. That way there's no holes in the defense. A lot harder for the quarterback, because all he sees is defensive backs back there. And he only has 4 receivers to pass to. So that's what it comes down. It's a numbers game, basically, when it comes to that. Just because you have 9 DBs and you have 4 receivers. So defense won the number game there. When it comes to the nickel defense, I talked to a couple different coaches. There's Coach J Ball, Jeff Potter, Dennis Baker. They all coach down at Central High School. I was talking to them over the summer, and they told me that basically the same thing. The nickel defense is the strongest defense to run against the spread offense, because it cuts down on all the gaps and all the lanes that the quarterback has and receivers have. It's the same with, I talked to Coach Luke Dillon. He's a safeties and corner coach. He said the exact same thing. It's a lot easier for the safeties and corners to read what the receivers are doing in the nickel when they're against the spread, because they have a lot more field to work with. And then I also talked to Fred Faulkner. He is actually a referee, and he was telling me on all the games he would ref, he's usually the back judge, which is the judge you always see in the back of the field on football. He says the exact same thing. Best coverage for a spread offense is a nickel defense. And that's all I have to tell you today.